Hi, this is Graphically Alex coming at you with all things fat related. If that's something that interests you, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. So, I have to cover this one more time. I just do. I promise this is it. But I don't know why, but this whole the woman getting rejected on the date moment, it is like, for me, it's like a Fatosphere moment. Like, I'm kind of shook. Like, I can't look away. And I saw that More Than Tracy T, she had responded to this. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do a video on this because I want to see what the Fatosphere, like a general Fatosphere take is on the situation. So we're going to listen and react to More Than Tracy T's take on this whole thing. Okay. Okay? You got it? You into it? Let's go. Oh my gosh, wait, before I start, I did launch a TikTok. So for any of you guys who are on TikTok, it's there. You can look up Graphically Alex or graphically.alex on TikTok. I am there. I think it might be a little bit more personal-ish. Maybe not. Maybe some anti-FA trouble we'll get into over there. I'm not sure where I'm going to go with it, but I'm there, and I will just say having an account has made this so much easier. So much easier to find stuff. I was holding out for a long time, a really, really, really long time, but I'm ready to have one. I just dove in, so here I am. So I'm there. So go follow me if you'd like. Anyways, okay, let's do this.
I said, okay. And I started walking to my car. And then I heard him say, I'm sorry. It's your.
Damn, this video hit me so hard. She says in the video, this is kind of your worst fear in dating, to show up to a date and somebody sees you and walks the other direction. And as a plus size person, this has certainly held me back from dating like my entire life. And
Yeah, I think the thing too is that it has been like a huge, I don't know. I guess I kind of understand it because I'm kind of obsessed with it too. But it's like, I think there is a little bit of a media obsession with this type of thing, or I feel like it's been in TV shows and stuff. Like, it's something that's commonly repeated. And I don't know how common it actually is, to be honest. I don't. But it's kind of fascinating in a way, and kind of like a morbid curiosity I feel like a lot of people have about it. Maybe that's me projecting, but it's interesting. And so I feel like people uplift those stories as well. That's all I'm trying to say.
I've seen it happen to a lot of people on TikTok. And
But that's also why I'm talking about this, because this is such like a, I don't even know how to describe it. But for the Fatosphere, like, even as like myself, somebody with the being super fat and having the toxic ritualistic behavior in my past, this type of thing, like if I would have seen this happen like at 20 years old, it would have shook me to my core. So I know that this whole thing, it is like a major moment in Fatosphere history. I just have to say that. And I know to a lot of people, they might think, oh, whatever, that's not that big of a deal. But that's why I'm talking about it, because I'm like, it's just, it makes you feel that way. I don't know how else to describe it.
it's tough in these situations because you can't really fault somebody for just not being attracted
True.
to you. And I think we have a real culture that hates wasting time. So
Mm-hmm.
it makes sense for people. A lot of people are just going to say, I don't want to waste your time. I'm going to tell you straight up that you don't look like your pictures to me, or I think you're a catfish, or whatever.
Yeah, it's interesting. More Than Tracy T, I don't know why I'm forgetting her name right now. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to call her More Than Tracy T. Um, she sometimes comes across as more reasonable. Not all the time. And again, more reasonable in terms of fat acceptance. It's a pretty low bar. Okay, I'm going to be honest. But she can at least somewhat empathize with another person's perspective. And I appreciate that about her.
You know, it's okay, you're not their type, they told you right away, you could see that as doing a kindness, and she does say that in the video. But there are other elements of this situation that make it very clear this man was not being kind, and he is completely at fault for this. And I don't usually fault people for like, oh, you didn't like them, you rejected them, it's fine. But in this case, I do fault him, and there are a few reasons for this. And so I just want to explain that because I think it's like pretty nuanced when you're dating and you maybe aren't attracted to the person in the end or whatever. Like, but what are the things that I will fault you for? What are the ways in which this man actually did treat her like absolute shit, and I hate his guts and I want him to pay? Anyway, they met on a dating app. She's posted...
It's a little dramatic. Okay.
All of her dating app profiles, and you can completely tell her body size from them. There is no question. And it is on this man. If he didn't scroll through the photos, if he didn't look at her photos and only looked at the first one that's of her face, it's pretty standard to put your face in your first photo. Like, I don't know, man. I think it's on him if he did not click through the little boxes. And then she also had told him on the phone that she was fat and like warned him, and he was like, oh, stop warning me. Why are you trying to warn me? And then he immediately rejects her and tells her it's because of her weight. What?
So like I said, with the whole like, and you guys, a lot of you guys agreed with me with her adding that he said it was because of her weight. Like she added that in another video, which I just don't know if I believe it 100%. I think it could have been something else. I mean, again, I was just watching one of her TikToks where she was like, or maybe, or she was talking about like, if you're fat, then you're unlovable or something. And she's like, it's not black and white. And it's like, well, yeah, this type of situation can also be not black and white. Like sometimes when it comes to fatness, you have to see the person in person. Sometimes online dating just isn't going to cut it because, as they used to say back in the day, like the camera adds 10 pounds, right? It's like, you don't know. The camera can also cut 10 pounds. Like, it's weird. People do stuff with angles. I don't know. You just don't always know. And, you know, I was talking and reading your guys' comments and talking with people, and it's like, I don't know what it is about a lot of straight men, but they can only really tell your size in person. And that's it. Like I did say in my last video, this is not something in the gay world whatsoever. Like if you post your body picture, first of all, men will want to see your body picture. They'll flat out be like, I want to see how you look, period. Like it's just very direct. Secondly, they are like examining it and everything. Like gay men get into like freaking investigative mode when it comes to how fat you are, okay? Like it's a major thing. They will ask the number. Like it's just a lot more straight up and in some ways a lot more brutal, but it's also like just straight up, you know? And so I don't know if a lot of straight men feel like they can't do that or whatever. I don't know. But it is a weird thing and I don't have an answer for it. I don't. I'm sorry. But it does seem to happen. You know, it was funny because one of your guys' comments said that I think like somebody, I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was like they thought that you were a certain weight, but you were actually 100 pounds heavier. And that happened to me too. Even with the gay guy I met up with. He was like, I don't know why I asked him, but I was like, I'm really fat. I'm so fat. Like, that's basically what I was saying. Because I was 360 at the time. You know, I was an Xbox 360 when I met up with this guy. And I was just meeting up to talk, by the way. I just want to say that. Because I wanted to see just what was out there, so to speak. So I just met up with somebody and I don't know, I'm kind of toxic, I guess. But I literally I would talk to him and I was like, okay, so I was like, so you think I'm good looking? So you think I am? You know, I was kind of like in this weird moment where I was like, okay. And he's like, yes. And I was like, okay. And I was like, and how, and I think I asked him, I was like, because he's like, you're not that fat, blah, blah. And I'm like, yes, I am. I was like, how much do you think I weigh? And he was like, I think you're like 260. And I was like, no, I'm 360. Xbox 360. I didn't say that. But I said that. I'm like, no, I'm 360. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know if he was lying to me. I don't know. You guys, I don't know. But it's like, I don't know. You know, maybe the standards are a little different. I don't really know. All I'm saying is I have had that happen to me where somebody thought I was 100 pounds lighter. And it's like, I don't think a lot of guys have a concept of what 100 pounds looks like. I just don't think they do. So, anyways, okay, let's continue. See, I'm fascinated with this topic, and I am going to move on, I promise, after this. But y'all need to humor me one more time, okay?
What? I understand if the person had not warned, if the photos had not shown it, to immediately be like, hey, you're actually really not my physical type. Fine.
Right.
But that is not what happened here. Something else happened here. I want to know. I want to investigate. Jesus Christ. And then the other
I think I'm the same way. I do too. I want to investigate it. I want this guy to speak up. If he does, I'm talking about this again. I'm letting you know. If that guy like makes TikTok or something, I'm talking about it again. Because it's just this type of thing, it's like an urban legend of fatness. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. But this is like the kind of thing, it'd be like if somebody actually found a crocodile in their toilet or something. Like, it's like a baby alligator or something, you know? It's just like something you hear about so much. And then to see it like so blatantly happen, at least in theory, it's captured the Fatosphere, in my opinion.
thing is that he tells her this. So he says, let's go into the restaurant. And then he pulls her back out and says, actually, come outside the restaurant. Outside the restaurant is where a bunch of people are standing, as she says in this video. So he's taken her into a more public place to reject her. This could almost be innocent. But then, as she hears the rejection, she turns around and walks to her car immediately, as she should, because he's not wasting her time. So why would she waste her time? And as she turns around and walks to her car, he goes, sorry, it's just your weight. After last night on the phone, he said, stop telling me you're fat. After he pulled her out into a more public place with more people to do this rejection, and she's walked away. She does not want to continue the conversation.
Okay, she says he is also most likely having to speak louder. She is walking farther away, so he is essentially calling after her to clarify that he is specifically rejecting her for something he already knows she is insecure about. See, I just don't know. I have skepticism about that. I really do. I had it almost immediately. I had it. Because I don't know if a lot of men would just flat out say that. I just don't know. You know, again, I don't date straight men, obviously. So I don't know exactly what it's like. But I just have a hard time. You know, obviously I have friends that are straight men or whatever. You know, it's like I don't know. It's wild if that's really the case. Like, because I feel like a lot of guys have heard, like, you can't call a woman fat or, you know, something. I don't know. If she asks you if the dress makes her look fat, then you can't say yes. You know, just stuff like that. Like, I don't know. Like, you hear that stuff. You grow up with that kind of stuff. It's like, so it's shocking to me to think that he would actually do that. But I'm not saying he didn't. But that's why I'm like, is he going to come forward and be like, I didn't even say that? And I'm just kidding. It wasn't even that. Could you imagine? Oh my gosh. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. I would definitely make a video about it. I'm warning you guys that.
It almost feels like she's now done her own sort of rejection of him and cut it off. And so he needs to tell her what. Why would you need to say that? To say that in public as she's walking away just
Maybe.
feels like such an intentional move to humiliate her further. I hate this man. And I don't usually comment on these things. And I don't think it's wrong to have a physical type preference or whatever inherently. But to treat somebody this way in public after they have done everything they possibly could do to let you know what you were getting into. Why I oughta.
I said, okay, and I started.
Yeah, I don't know what else she could have done, honestly. And I don't, I didn't assume she catfished him. I didn't. Because usually women don't. But usually people don't, because it's not really something you can actually hide. So it's kind of stupid if you try to do that. I'm just going to let you know. It's kind of stupid. But to me, it's like, I don't know. I feel like it was something else, maybe. I really do. I still feel that in my soul. But I'll never know. I guess. None of us will ever know. Like, it's one of those... It's an urban legend, I guess. That's all I can say. Sorry, my stomach's going crazy. I had a Granny Smith apple because I'm brat, and it is apparently my stomach's upset from it. So, anyways, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and go. We're gonna go back to the podcast tomorrow. I will talk to you guys again soon. Have a good one. Have a good rest of your day, night, whatever. Peace. Bye.